Hey everyone, John here, staff software engineer with 10 plus years of experience. Today we are trying to add Google Social Sign-In, and then if we have more time, we might deal with LinkedIn, we might deal with other providers, maybe Discord and GitHub. The full menu is those four. I don't know if we'll get to all of them this stream. Gonna start with Google. Let's dive in. So the first thing to do is to go create a Google Cloud project, which I've done. Here's the Latterly main site project. This is associated to john@latterly.io. So I even have a dedicated email. You don't necessarily need to do that. You can create a Google project with your sort of like normal Gmail. You do need a Gmail, as far as I know. Then you come over to this credentials and you can make an OAuth 2 client. This is what you're going to use to have social sign in to your website. You will need to have a privacy policy that is verified by Google, and that can take a day or two. So here's the Latterly privacy policy. Google has already reviewed and approved, so we're good to go. If you can't find this page, first of all, I think you can search in this top thing up here. But if you're ever not sure, you can actually do a Google search. And the articles are pretty good for how to do this stuff. So you might say Google Social Sign In. Maybe it'll say how to. You see it pops right up to the top. So the SEO for finding, at least in the case of Google, is pretty good. For other providers, your mileage may vary. All right. So we have this background. Now we have this GitHub issue. So let's make a feature branch. I like to do my feature branches named off of the issue they're intended to close. So here, git checkout-b 103-Google auth. Git branch, git fetch origin main. Make sure that I start on the tip of the tree. Git reset --hard origin main. Now I'll immediately push so that I can get a pull request going. I like to have draft pull requests up. I know some people won't create the pull request until the last step. That's fine. Whatever your team prefers. But I like to have this here so that people can provide early feedback if they review it early, and also so that if I get partly done and I switch branches, I still have like a tab or a pull request on GitHub that I can easily like orient myself to and like get back to. And I also get to do some of this stuff. Oh, well, I need to push up a commit or two. Let's do a commit or two, and then I'll link the issues is another reason I like to do this early. This is just an extra tab. So social sign in, then there is the broader one. I'll probably link both of those. Okay. Pull this one off screen now. And it's going to be a similar thing for the other providers. We're using OAuth 2 with next auth. So the tricky bit is that Latterly is a Blitz.js application. So we'll go to GPT-4o for starters. You can pick your language model of choice. You might go with Claude. Claude's really, really great these days. I wonder when Strawberry is going to drop. I keep hearing about Strawberry coming out allegedly this week, but I don't know like who to trust and stuff. How can I integrate Google Social Sign-In to a Blitz.js application using the Next.js v14. Using Next.js v14. All right, great. Yes, the callbacks, right? So I've already done this as well. Let me show you how to do that. So here on this Auth 2.0 thing, when you click here, you'll get a couple callbacks, and make sure to include localhost at the port that you're using locally so that you can verify your stuff locally, right? You might also want to add, if you're deploying on Vercel like I am, you might want to have a URL for Vercel. Here, I'm going to verify it locally, skip Vercel, and push. So you need to authorize these callback addresses, basically. Okay, and that's how you do that. Queen Kadar, thank you for the likes. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, so we have this Google Cloud Console. Oh, and I see something in the chat. Hey, John, how are you? Claude is very direct and to the point. GPT gives a better explanation. Yeah, there's trade-offs. I'm well. Thanks for asking. Definitely there's trade-offs. And one thing you can do is pick whichever one you prefer arbitrarily, roll a die, make it random. And if you start to run into trouble, go to the other. So you can actually like see what both of them have to say. Okay. So we have this bit done. We'll keep going through, save your client ID and secret. Yep, we got them. And we're going to add next auth. Good. So I was wondering whether GPT would indicate using next auth or whether there's a Blitz first way to do this. It looks like GPT is not aware of a Blitz first way to do this. I'm a huge fan of the next auth library. So this is a green flag to me. One thing that's nice about next auth, I can use this whether I'm using Blitz or not. So if I'm using Blitz, I can go for next auth for social integration. If I'm using the T3 stack, which I'm quite fond of, actually prefer these days. If I was going to make a greenfield project, that will have Next.js out of the box or next auth out of the box. And if you have your own, like you're not using a higher order framework, you're just going for Next.js directly, you can add next auth. It works regardless. Cool. So we'll grab these here on my branch, install these. Open up source control. And this is like a nice, easy commit, right? 1.0, 4.24, cool. So this is going to be chore install next auth. Chore is a code change that doesn't impact the users, often dealing with CI/CD activities. So this would be a chore in the conventional commit approach. And now I can go over to my infantile pull request and I can attach the associated issue. So I'll call this feat Google, sign up with Google. And then we can always change the name if I add the other providers here, or I might roll those out in different pull requests. And I will say it's intended to close this one. And then partials this one. It's a bit redundant because this issue says that it partials the other, but whatever. Prefer doing this after 189. What is 189? Okay, that's already done. Great. The release train is releasing and training. Cool. And now that I have this one up, I can close my other tabs. So it's also like a tab consolidation thing. This other one has to do with like, it's completely unrelated. That's fine. We'll just leave it there. One of the troubles I ran into with next auth is that you can't sign into multiple providers, e.g. sign in with Instagram and with YouTube, Google at the same time. It's a limitation, but it doesn't have any binding impact on me currently. And you can also switch, right? That takes some extra code, but once the user has connected multiple accounts, you can have them, you can do everything you need to do. Like on your server, you can access tokens from any of the providers. Even if, yeah, you actually can do that, right? So effectively you can. You just need to, you need to write a bunch of code to do it. So maybe it doesn't come out of the box. Why would you want that out of the box, by the way? I'm curious. How does your team decide on API structures? So one of the nice things about higher order frameworks like Blitz.js and T3 is that they come with strong opinions. That's like one of the points of using them. In Python world, this would be a Django. And so you can just follow the conventions of the higher order framework. Another example would be like a UI framework like Angular. You can consult the Angular style guide for things like this so that you don't have to waste time on questions like this. I like to go with the, and so I'm using Prisma. Prisma already has built-in idioms like .create, .delete. And so they map relatively well onto your CRUD verbs, which maps intuitively to the REST verbs. And I think that's a really good way to go. And if you run into a weird situation where you need like an endpoint that it doesn't fit cleanly into create, read, update, delete, maybe it's like a combination of deleting one thing and updating a different thing, then you just give it a custom name at that point. Wanted to create something like Hootsuite, but for free and for everyone. But now it's just me. That's cool. Okay. Yeah. So that's a bit of a niche use case, but I actually get what you're saying now. I'm not going to pivot. I'm going to focus what I'm doing, and I'm just going to be glad that I don't have to deal with that pain point. But I understand how that would be a pain point now. Yeah. You could still do it. It would just not be fun. Yeah. So we've installed it. We've got this pull request up, and now we're going to go down here. Create an API route for authentication. Cool. Pages API auth. I don't want to use Pages. Can I place? Whoa, sorry. In the app router, or do I need to use the Pages directory? Yeah, we can use the app router, right? How do you add roles to the user? It's just an update statement, right? It's just an association. So let me bring up the data model. So here's laterally, Control P, laterally Prisma, so we can do the fuzzy typing. Notice that I can skip over the word schema. So here's the user model. And this model comes out of the box, at least like this top bit, comes out of the box with Blitz.js. So Blitz.js comes out of the box with user and role models. Now, I seeded this project a long time ago, and I have updated it with laterally specific fields since then, okay? But at least the user role relation, it just comes out of the box with email. And so you have these role enums. I would have admin and user. You could do another, B2B. You could do whatever roles you want. And then there's a separate model for, oh, is there not a model for a role? Okay. I guess just the enum. That's fine. You might do like a role table. Let's see. Does this end up creating a table in Supabase? Let me check. No, so I don't even have a role table in this application. I just have a string enum, which is fine. You might want a role table if you want a role to have, like, if you want permission level granularity, and you can say that a role can do these things. And so that would be its own table. But here it's just an enum, and it's gotten me this far. Yeah, so that's all you would do. If you wanted to change the role of a user, is you would make an update to that user record. Pretty straightforward. Alfredo, what's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. If you're enjoying the videos, throw some likes on it. Hope you'll follow the page, share it with a friend if you have some people who are into coding or want to learn, whatever the case may be. So Laterally is equal parts a technical tool that you can use and also a social community. So hope that you will hang out and contribute. How was your first day on your first job as an engineer? Do you mean my new job, or are you asking like my way back in the day? Ethan says a multi-tenant setup. We're not going to do multi-tenant today. That's a can of worms. The first job. Okay. My first day on my first job as an engineer must have been like 9 years ago at this point. Golly. So I worked at a company called SAIC as a JavaScript developer with the Patent and Trade Office. I can't remember my first day. I don't remember it. I mean, I remember the role, I remember the tasks, but the first day itself, I just utterly don't remember. Not using Claude, why not? No particular reason. We could switch over to Claude. I think I might have had a ChatGPT tab open, or it just came to mind for like faster for some reason. Okay, so we've got these things installed, and we convinced GPT that we could use the app router. So let's go make it. So app API auth, next auth route. Here we go. Source app. Ooh, now. So I need a new folder. I'll double confirm. I have app API auth, which includes my login page.tsx and so on. Should I reuse this directory or make a distinct auth directory without parens. And at this point, this could be something where ChatGPT might get confused because it's a subtle token difference. So I might want to go consult the official documentation if it gives me like a sus answer. I'm expecting that I can use it. The other thing I can do is just like try it, and if it doesn't work, backtrack, right? How often do you use ChatGPT in your day-to-day for work? Well, I'm starting up with a new company next week, so I'll refer to my last role because I'm not sure what the policies are at the new company. That's going to be follow for onboarding. I'll be onboarding to a new company, and absolutely as part of onboarding, we want to understand what is the policy for dealing with public entities, whether it's a Stack Overflow or a GitHub or a public GitHub issue, not an internal GitHub thing. So like, what kind of questions can I post? Want to understand the social media content policy. A lot of companies will have one of those. That's something I like to look into at onboarding time. And then the generative AI policy. I have the advantage that my upcoming role is focused on generative AI. So I'm sure that I'll be able to use it in some capacity, but I don't know the details. Anyway, at my previous role, Upstart, where I also helped adopt ChatGPT. So I was a member of a pilot for ChatGPT, and I got a bunch of people involved. At the beginning of my tenure there, we couldn't use it. I don't even remember, when did ChatGPT come out? Did it even exist when I started at Upstart? Anyway, around the time that I left, I'll be using it daily. I mean, yeah, I don't know how many hours or minutes, whatever, but using it daily. How hard are the tasks as a junior engineer? I'm asking for me because of my new job. Alfredo, I would love to discuss this with you on the Discord, because if you're talking about particular tasks, there is a large volume of discussion because the answer varies by task type, and there are many types of tasks. At a high level, don't sweat it. Instead of dealing with those task types, let's backtrack to first principles. Focus on developing positive relationships so that even if you screw something up, other people will help you out. They'll give you early notice. They'll help you fix it. They won't get mad at you. They will just be happy to help you and teach you. Really, if you can do that, that's the key to the rest of your career. The search techniques. So yeah, I have a to-do to improve my search techniques video, but for now you can go to TikTok and view the pinned video. This one right here with 966 on it and the colored jacket. All right, that is a search techniques video, 7 search strategies. Watch that. If you have the search techniques and if you have social skills, you're going to be able to navigate anything. And the big thing that I would encourage you to do is 1, don't panic or don't stress. 2, really that's it. Don't panic and don't stress, and don't make like a big deal out of things. Like, don't freak out. You're going to have to learn. You're going to be dealt a lot of new things. And hopefully you can view that positively. Like, hopefully that excites you and energizes you. Like, doing new things should be fun, hopefully. I mean, it depends on your personality. But for me, that's one of the reasons that I got into tech, is like, the other stuff's so boring. The other stuff is so boring. Okay. So I think that would be the high level answer, and then the low level answer is going to depend on task. But basically, you're going to have to do a bunch of new stuff, and focus on being able to try and figure it out. If it doesn't work, time box, escalate to a trusted source, and you'll be all right. Your first role as a junior, if things start to go sideways, you can just leave the role. So you really only, as a junior, a tenure of 6 to 12 months, and you're ready for a non-junior role. And it's really difficult to not last 6 months. You'd have to be doing something as a junior to get kicked out within 6 months. You'd have to be doing something like very red flaggy. You know what I mean? Anyway, those are some initial top of mind thoughts. Java, Python, JavaScript, question mark. This is going to be JavaScript, TypeScript over here. Okay, so let's read in Next.js. Choice depends. If you already have it, you might want to consider reusing it so that your auth related roles are together. Yes, that's the idea. Also, the scoped context, it creates a nested layout, which means the components inside the folder might share a specific layout or context. Yeah, but that for a TS file, that doesn't matter. TypeScript is easy, any to any. Oh, golly. Do you pronounce your name Cyrem? That's a good joke there, Cyrem. Yeah, that's funny, dude. Okay. In this structure, login page, so we already have this, right? So it's basically telling me what to do if I was going to go with that. Great. What if we wanted to go the other way? It's talking about layout scoping. Layout scoping doesn't matter for a TS file. It matters for TSX. And this is not a TSX file, so it literally doesn't matter. 25 roses. Oh, I'm crying. Are you the nicest person ever? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Just Breeze, thanks for the follow. If you're enjoying the video so far, throw some likes on it. That will help the algorithm send it around. Okay, so we are going to reuse the paren auth we have, and we'll make this ellipsis path folder name, which is a weird thing if you're not familiar with Next.js, but trust me, bro, in Next.js, it is not only acceptable, it's actually an ideal pattern. It's actually an ideal pattern. Okay, so here, auth, new folder. And what that does is it's a parameter path. So it's going to be a variable. You remember in the callbacks where we were like /Google for the Google callback? This is going to allow us to say like Google or Discord or LinkedIn or whatever. So it's going to parameterize this REST segment. And because Next.js uses file-based routing, the parameterized REST segment is a ellipsis directory. Does that make sense? Is the logic following? Yeah, next 14. Yep, exactly. Okay, so now let's actually make the content of the method. Cool. Oh, best practice. Both approaches are valid. What a wishy-washy answer. I'm gonna like water pistol emoji. No way, homie. Pick one right now. All right, under pressure. Oh, I'm so mad at your answer, but I'm proud of the fact that you did answer. I'm so mad at your answer, dude. I'm not going to listen to you. What does my callback say? Does my callback have an auth or have an API substring? I do. Let me double check in my... Okay, so here's the difference, right? It's not whether auth has parens or not. It's the API substring is actually the valid difference that I'm realizing now. Okay, so we'll go with this. App API. Better to do it now than to try and pivot later. So app API. And now next auth goes under that. Auth API. API auth next auth route TS. All right, cool. Siren says, brackets are for variable files, but what are the paren file names for? The paren file names are vanishing and scoping. They're vanishing and scoping. So if I go to, oops, sorry, wrong L. If I go to latterly.io, look at those tombstones, by the way. Did you see the skeleton UI that I put in instead of the loading ... It was driving me crazy. Okay, here, you see how the page route is /signup? It's not auth/signup because the auth directory was in parens, so it vanished. So it's vanishing and scoping. The first thing it does is it vanishes out of the route literal. And the second thing it does is that it scopes the layout file so that all the child pages will use this layout file. That's basically all it does. It's vanishing and scoping. Okay. So now, what was I doing? We're going to do Google. I'm losing my train of thought a lot today. So we're going to do Google. So I have I'm making an API page. Cool. So let's go back to ChatGPT and have the method content. So here's the method content. Siren says, sorry. Bro, do not be sorry. Like, I am here. I really appreciate the questions. I wish I could convey to you how much I appreciate the audience interaction. The only thing that y'all should be sorry for is when you don't comment and you don't follow the page and you don't like the video. Why are you here? Do something. It's like that do something meme with the stick. Like, do something. So I appreciate the question. Isia, thank you so much for the likes. I hope I said your name correctly. Isia. I'm not sure if I said that properly. Okay, so here, I think I have a different folder name. What is my folder name for DB? Let's just call it DB like this. Okay, let me look around my folders because I forgot where my Prisma client is. Blitz client? Nope, we want a Prisma client. Control Shift P, Prisma client. And so, yeah, this is the right import path. Prisma client. Oh, well, what do you know? It's called Prisma client. Come on, man. I could have thought of that myself. No? Is that the wrong one? DB, yeah, that's the T3 stack approach. I have a wrapper on this that I should be using. Let me search just for the Prisma client here. Yeah, it's just called DB, right? Why was, okay. Why did my linter not like respect it when I mentioned it earlier? DB from DB. Oh, is it just mad because I'm not using it? Did you mean import DB from DB instead? Oh, okay. Yeah, that might have been the issue. Gotcha. Cool. All right, everyone's happy now, right? Import Prisma client or DB no curly braces. Oh, thanks. Yep. We got to the same place. Okay. Thank you for the likes. Where are we at? Over 1,500. That's awesome. Y'all rock. So we have next auth. We're bringing it in. What's this? This type is not being used. What? I don't. Whoa, what just happened? I don't see being used. Is that import needed? Fix your code, homie. Look how we're co-piloting. I'm not just copying and pasting and just trying to ship to prod whatever ChatGPT said. That's not how the things work. You're right to point that out. Is indeed not needed. This version is leaner and only includes what's necessary. Thanks for catching that. Yo, hold on. ChatGPT is chill like that. Look at that. He's throwing emojis. It's throwing emojis. And wow. Let's give you a thumbs up. No, you don't have a thumbs up? Okay. So DB over here, DB over here. This session user ID. It doesn't exist on session. So right. So for me, it's user.id, and that could be falsy. Left-hand side of assignment. Okay. So this is creating the session, not reading it. Right. So we create the session. Siren says, are you on Twitch too? Yeah, I'm on Twitch as well. So if I'm creating the session, do I have any data pre-populated here? It already has a session type. Cool. What's on it? Okay, user, email. So it just doesn't have a user ID. Is that the issue? Did you mean user? Yeah, I think that's the issue, right? It has to point at a... So what is user going to be? Is it... Yeah, it's this object, default session. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks. I could create a one more level of abstraction. There is no user ID literal on the session object, apparently. I know you can definitely transit the user ID somehow, but I guess so yeah, they're going to add a level of abstraction, extend the session object type. That's fine. There's other things you could do, but I'm okay with this approach. So next auth, okay, so we're going to make a types next auth DTS file. Do I really want to make a different file? Oh, no. I have to do a DTS file. I have to do it that way. So this is literally wrapping next auth. Instead of creating my own construct, it's like aliasing or kind of redefining next auth itself. I am okay with that, provided it works. If it blows up, we'll change things. So here, let me go on the left hand to my DTS files. Where would this be? In the app directory? Source. Let's see. So DTS is going to be read by the TypeScript compiler. So I think this would be a sibling of source. Next auth.d.ts. Did I name that correctly? I don't know. Next auth. Yeah, I did. Go team. You do need to be able to spell to become a programmer. So basically, we're all English majors. Sorry, bad news bears. Polar Willie, thank you so much for the likes. Whoa, going on 3,000. Thank you. Okay, so now my user ID should be respected. You good? What's up? Are you ever going to change your username? Because it's so confusing when I say you good, what's up? And everyone's like, doesn't know that there's actually a person named you good. ModuleDB has no exported member. Okay, yeah, cool. Going in circles, great. So let me Control-Shift-P sort my imports. Love it. So now we're good, but why did it not use the token? Why is it not using the token? I guess I don't care. Like, what do I want to do with the token? Is this the Google token or is this my server-side token? Like, in either case, I don't need to read it, right? Okay, that's fine. We'll just ignore it. So this is not set to a JWT strategy. Am I okay with that? For now, I am. In the future, I'm going to use the signed JWT, but for now, this works. Would you recommend the Harvard CS50 course for a complete beginner? No, I wouldn't, but go for it. Everyone else does. I guess you can be that guy. I haven't really put my thoughts together about why it's such a waste of time. Let me add it as a seed to the prestige thing. And I think that will make it sum up nicely whenever the data is ready. But it'll take some time to gather that data. So we're going to go to DB, seed, utils, votables. And I'll put a new school here. You know what? And I could be wrong. That's the other reason, is the name itself, Harvard, could be awesome for your resume. Could be awesome for your resume. What would this be? What would this be? This is weird, right? Does it count as a school? It's more like a course. So that would be a content. Sure. Let's get the official website. If you want to know what I recommend, go to latterly.io, sign up for free, and there's a checklist. It tells you step by step how to learn to code and land your first or next programming role. Right here, a big pink link. Just sign up and click it. You have to log in. Yeah, okay. CS50 on edX, or both links go to edX. Learn more. Okay, they both end up going to edX. Time to 11 weeks, dude. The problem is opportunity cost. And the fact that self-paced as a modality doesn't work. Less than 5% of MOOC enrollees will complete a self-paced course. It just doesn't work. You're not going to, like, most people are not going to do it. And the thing that, to make matters worse, if you complete this, you're not actually job ready. So there went 11 weeks. I mean, if you complete it, at least I'm confident that you're going to be able to get job ready because you've shown that you're in the top 5%. So that's like cool. So completion itself is probably a green flag. Do you get a certification or something? Because I need to be able to verify, a verified certificate for $219. A bunch of people say they took it and they never actually completed it. That's another one of the stigma or dilutions on the signal of this course. Signaling theory of education, the reason you get any certificate is basically because it helps you get a job, not because it gives you real skills. For the most part, they don't. You will get some real skills, but the share of real skill relative to signal value in most certificates, the signal dominates, okay? That's the TLDR on signal theory. And so you really need to carefully evaluate not only the content of the curriculum, but the signal of the curriculum. Harvard, awesome name. CS50, pretty well recognized. But some of the stigmas, it doesn't get you job ready, and a bunch of people say they took it and they never really took it. So it's not really a great indicator of talent if someone tells you that they took this thing. In 11 weeks, you can do a lot more useful stuff in 11 weeks. You feel me? So this will be tagged course, like coding course. Here's the official name, I guess. If we're going to do the official name, let's do the official URL, even though it's just one more hop to edX, whatever. Cool. So I'll put it up for the vote, but you've heard my TLDR, which is, I think, opportunity cost, total waste of time. You're much, much better off with a prestigious coding bootcamp, which will actually get you job ready. Okay. But this could be the first time to get direct data, because I haven't actually seen outcome data. All the data that I have on Harvard is indirect. So the 5% thing is from MOOCs in general. I haven't seen CS50 specific data for that. So it'll be good to get the direct prestige data. What will this be? Chore feed? I guess this is a chore. I don't know. Yeah, it's not really a new feature. CS50 votable record. CS50 votable record. So whenever this ships to prod, you'll be able to vote on that. Here we have the route. We don't care if the token's blank. Cool. What are we going to do? npm start, npm run dev. Let's go over to localhost. And I need to hook it up to this like sign up page. So let's keep going. This all looks good. Option 2, use session.user.id. Well, that would also be fine. Does that work? See ya. Yeah, so it's fine with me, but it's actually not on the type, so whatever. So we're not going to go that way. Just do session question mark. Green, no, it's not on the type. I think you're not understanding me. This is not JavaScript, guys. We actually want to respect the types. So what is supposed to be on the user session? No, you don't need to log it and see what it returns. That defeats the point of TypeScript. We know what it returns because it's typed. We already know what it returns. So here, you can command click the session element. You see how it's typed? It has a type of session, variable name session, variable type session. So you can literally click it and get the type. So here's the type definition. A session extends the default session. Okay, so what's the default session type? There is no ID here. You know the type of return, but not value. We know that there's not supposed to be an ID here. So either way, we're abusing the type. So the thing that's nice about this approach is that we're kind of correctly abusing the type. Like we're making the extension explicit, which is much better than sort of doing question mark user ID for a thing that shouldn't be there. That's like very JavaScripty and very not TypeScripty. All right. I want to be able to log in. So let me get my Google Client ID. I need to go to my M file. So I'll have to take this off screen. I can make this is the template file, right? So here's the fake one. Oh, nice. I already had the stub in there. Cool. Google Client ID, Google Secret. Okay. So then I'll take this off screen and populate the real values. And I'm opening my .env.local. Oh, it looks like I already put them here too. Let's see if they're accurate. So I'm looking at Google Cloud. And it's under credentials. Roll the speed. Yeah, so this is the OAuth. So the client ID. Good. Okay, that's the right client ID. And then the client secret. We're going to have to test it and see. Because I think the secret, you see it one time and then you can delete it and make a new one if you want, but you can't just go look it up unless I'm mistaken. Okay, so .env.local should be equipped. So let me bring back VS Code. So .env.local should be equipped now. Close your door. Route TS. So we have the client ID, we have the client secret. What else do I need to do? So it'll call back and authenticate. There's no way that's it, right? There's no way that's it. So how do I get a blitz? I mean, we can test it and see, but this isn't giving me a blitz session. This is like a next auth session. Let me go to sign, sign up. Mutation. So here, Is the Prisma adapter taking care of things? Maybe the Prisma adapter has that much magic in it. I'm kind of surprised. You see, I create the Blitz session. Since this is embedded in a Blitz app, do I need to do anything extra? I'm expecting a Blitz session to exist after sign up completes. Here is my legacy non-social sign up logic. Whoa, it like hit a wall. It's just some lag. Okay. Yeah, see, on the callback, you get an Next.js session, and now it wants to create a Blitz session. Smart, smart, smart. So none of that stuff really changes. Okay, the CTX type, fine. Really, all I'm changing is the internal of this session callback. We have a get handler and a post handler. Get handler and a post handler as expected. Looks good. So internal of the session, expanding that. Oh, REQ. Where did REQ come from? The outer handler? Okay, so it did change the outer handler. Handler, rec res, next auth. Does that work? Okay. So now I can reference the Blitz context. Is that really what it'd be like? I'm used to it being called CTX. Okay, they alias it here. That's kind of weird. Okay. I think it's just going to be CTX. I'll console.log rec. Console.log both of them. Okay. Ensure the user ID is included. So we went with the other approach, which is user.id. What is going on over here, though? User. We create the user, right? So why do we not create a user here? That's what I'm confused about. So they're going to be out of alignment. They're going to be out of alignment. So are these like totally different tables then? Why not use GitHub Copilot so you don't need to copy and paste? I have Copilot active. Oh, okay. Okay. So apparently it should work. I'm going to go ahead and throw it my schema anyway. It would be nice to pull in the profile picture from the user's Google account as well. Brute forcing code via ChatGPT hallucinations. I found it hard to work with ChatGPT and Next App Router since the training data is too old. It's working well enough for me. I mean, you can switch over to Claude, which has a more recent knowledge cutoff. So we can do profile pictures. That'll be cool. Nullable or empty by default. Decisions. Yeah, let's keep the type consistent. That's cool. Thanks for the follow. User account profile. Async sign in. Okay. So I'll add this async sign in bit. Session, sign in, ABCD. So I'll keep it alphabetical. As role, let's bring it in. Cool. Admin or user. Looks good. Need to replace these DB references. So there's the db.user. npx Prisma generate. So now it's chill with the fact that we have profile pictures. Let me stage that and I'll go ahead and npm, let me see, blitz Prisma migrate dev. I think part of the problem is I'm also just learning Next, so I don't have the experience yet. Yeah, that's valid. So user PFPs. Stage that. I'll go ahead and commit. This is actually a feature, profile pictures. Push that up. So now, this is a small one. What is this? Fix, like, I don't know. I guess it's a feat. Better typing. Lots of small commits. We love to see it. Okay. Sign in. No overload matches this call. I think I nested it incorrectly. I think I need to cut that and indent here. Yeah, cool. Now it's happy. Profile is possibly undefined. Okay, that's fine. Profile doesn't, okay, so picture doesn't exist on it. Here's a profile. Maybe we should go over to Claude, eh? What about account? I guess it would be the profile image, wouldn't it? I think so. So we'll call this profile image. Cool. Can they avoid an email? No? Oh, that's Python, sorry. If there's no user email, we want to throw new authentication error. Is that Ruby? Nope, this is TypeScript. Pro tip, try Anthropic console. You can dump your code into variables and rewrite/delete chat logs. That sounds cool. So where's Anthropic console? Look at that. They're using, okay, now I have to set a whole thing up. All right. Let me log in with another email. All right, we can make this a whole organization thing, I guess. Get in your room, Ellie. Anthropic is an IDE. I wouldn't even try it. You wouldn't even try it? Good afternoon, John. This looks like not helpful to me right now. Why is this beneficial to me right now? It's the AI IDE. I think not. That would be called Cursor. Cursor is the AI IDE. Maybe they're trying to compete with Cursor. Good luck. Okay, that was fun. I don't think that was useful. Here, we're trying to satisfy the linter and give it a test. That's what we'd like to do. So user ID, it's not assignable to type number because it's a string at this point. Okay. Parse int. In base 10, please. We can actually do that up here. That's going to be more useful up here. This user ID has to be a string. That's okay. That's okay. I can just change the DTS, no? So next, auth DTS. Here it said user is a string. Let me say it's a number instead. So if you're a number, string is not assignable to number, adapter user. So the adapter user ID, so the Prisma adapter is giving me the ID as a string. That's the issue here, yeah? So I'll have to cast it at some point. So you sign up and then you sign in. So oh, this is the session callback. Is there not a sign up callback? There's not. Okay. So there's the session and then there's the sign in. So you give me a string, and then what would I like to carry around on my Blitz session? I would like to carry around a number, okay? This is a user or an adapter user, right? I guess I just need to cast it in both methods. That's fine. That's fine. It's a user or an adapter user. That's really annoying. I need like a Zod layer. I need like a Zod layer to make sure that it's the one I want. So I do have a role here, right? This is a model user role. So why are you saying that you don't have role? Benna, thanks for the follow. W, Abraham, thank you all for the follows. All right, I think I just need to cast it, but let's see if I can parse it. Next.js, okay, Next.auth has its own user thing. More overrides, okay. ID is a number. We'll try it. So I'll just copy this whole thing now, and then we'll fix it up because it's going to be talking about the wrong DB. Yep. But easier to just fix it up than to break out the snippets, I think. Session user ID. Okay, so we're adding ID at that level. We're adding ID at that level. So is it just going to cast it or what? Change the ID field in Prisma to string. That is cuckoo. No, we're not doing that. Option 2, cast it. Yeah, we're going to cast it. Or override next auth to use Prisma's ints. Okay. This is looking a lot cleaner. Good. Get rid of some of these comments. Just basically clean it up. The email is the only thing left to deal with, and I think we're ready for a test sign-in. Update the user profile. Yeah, again, it's like, that's pretty obvious based on what the code says. And then we'll add the guard. It's not an, yeah, it's an authentication error, not an authorization error. Is returning false better? I wonder if I'm going to get them in a trap where it's like, I signed up and then I tried to connect Google and like it doesn't work or something. No, I don't think that's a problem. All right. So I think we're good. Let me comment. Let me delete this because in theory I shouldn't have console.log being committed. So this will be feature sign in with Google. Push up to commit. And now we're going to do a local test, npm run dev. Feels close. I don't know that it's going to work on the first try. Okay, so here's localhost 3000. I also want to update that page, right? So laterally sign up page. So here's the page. Let's update this UI page to include a sign up with Google sign up with Google button, ideally using the Google logo. Not loading the live, it's just spinning and the audio cut out while typing. New join, maybe next. Bummer, that's no fun. Over 4,000 likes. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for being here. Hope you'll follow the page. If the live is cutting out for you, maybe you can see it next time, eh? So you'll need to install the Google logo. Here I'm going to actually Google. How How to show Google logo during sign in with Google. Provides guidelines on how to display a sign in with Google button. Yeah, I want the G. What do y'all think, chat? Rectangular or pill? I'll go rectangular. I think it's fine. Oh no, you need all this stuff too? Yeah, I guess you do. Guess you do. Okay, so we'll make a new component. This will be the Google sign in, or let's do a postfix, sign in button Google. Excuse me. Okay, so here's the JSX. Cannot find name React. What do you mean, dude? CSS, I feel like we can do it in a style tag over here. No, it's not happy about the. What do you mean you can't find name React? Okay, let me close VS Code and open it again. I feel like I've seen this a couple times. What IDE? It's VS Code. It's VS Code. Are you good now? Okay, it's done panicking. No, it's going to panic all over again. Cannot find select. Did you mean on select? Okay, let's get rid of these Moz bits. Cannot find name background. Alter this component into a proper React component. Hello, are you like doing the coding as a job? Yep, I code as a job. Import React from React. Okay, fine. And wants to break out the CSS file. Why does that have a span display none? I don't know about breaking out this, whatever. I know it's quote unquote you're supposed to, right? All right, let's do it if that makes the linter happy. So I'll get all the CSS. Bop, 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 bop. And then it's just mad because of class name after that. That does make sense. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. no vendor prefixes. Update the CSS file to account for style lint. No vendor prefixes, and that. So class, we are going to replace with class name. It really is a display block. Yeah. Okay. Why would they have all the CSS rules and then do that? I don't know. Okay. All right. So this, and then we'll export it, right? This is the sign in button. How much do you make a year if it's personal? I understand. I'll just say over 200K base. And then more than that total. No exact numbers. Okay, it doesn't like the quotes around Roboto, whatever. Expected a modern color function. There's nothing wrong. No, I want to disable that rule. There's nothing wrong with RGBA. Style lint. Config laterally 3. So here, color function notation. Just nullify that rule. And then this one, I don't even want to nullify it. I just want to change the value. Can I? Number. Yeah. Because literally it told me not to use % in the other place. Why would you tell me to use % here? That's so annoying. That's exactly what linting should oppose. Is this Next.js? Yes, it is. No redundant longhand. No, I'm going to get rid of that one as well. Cool. Okay. So CSS seems good. Stage it. Make sure we import it. We want to import it to this file. Have you tried Tailwind CSS? Yeah, I'm using Tailwind right now. What do you think about React 19? It's great. Love me some server components. It's an improvement. The React compiler is really, really cool. So here's the sign in button. Yeah, Daniel, see, I'm using Tailwind like right here. npm run dev. This is going to be the create account page. So we'll close to the right. I guess I should put it on the form. All right, so we want to create a new account. Let me log out. Let me create a new account. How does that Google button look? Let's see it. It looks great. Yeah, buddy. That's a good looking Google button. We got the hover effect and everything. Let me do a little, that's awesome. So I'll do a little section right here so that I can space it out just a bit. This will be ID social sign in. Okay. And then I want this to have a class name, MY4, let's say. React 19 versus Next.js. Which one should I stick? Use them together. Use them together. You don't need to pick one or the other. So Next.js is a React wrapper. Okay. I'm kind of expecting an anchor to show on hover there, but that's all right. Sign up form, sign in with Google. And so this will be feat sign in button Google. Push that up. And so now, if I click it, it doesn't work, right? Because it's just kind of a dummy button. How do I trigger the next auth sign up with Google Flow when the user clicks the below or clicks or presses enter on the sign in with Google button on the page on or in, whatever, the component below. Coding with ChatGPT is crazy. Is it though? I think the majority of coders use ChatGPT. %. Oh, okay. Oh, that's from a year ago. What's it at now? 92% are using AI tools. Whatever. I don't know. It's all over the map, isn't it? Where's the Stack Overflow? Stack Overflow developer survey. It's wrong most of the time. Well, I don't use the free one. So no, the paid one, GPT-4o, it's not wrong most of the time. That's not accurate. If you're using the free one, get off of it. It's not good. It's not good. 4o is still frequently wrong, but that doesn't mean that it slows you down. It can be wrong, and if it gives you the boilerplate and you know how to tweak it, that's what I've been doing through this whole stream. So hang out for a while, you'll notice. Hang out for a while, you'll notice. Most developers use ChatGPT of all the AI tools, and 74% want to keep using it. Most developers who use ChatGPT want to keep using it. Let's see. I want to get the more specific, cool visualizations. Shout out to the gang. But what percent are actually using it? ChatGPT. Okay, cool picture. What's the number? I don't know what the number is, but it looks like the yellow portion has grown for professional developers relative to all. Yeah, see, learning to code, ChatGPT shrinks. Are you seeing that? So developers are using ChatGPT even more than people who are trying to learn to code. That's an interesting insight. I don't know. 41%, whatever. It's a lot of people using ChatGPT. It looks like less than half. It looks like more than the 20% from a year ago. So that's how many do use it. But if you use it, you're ahead of the curve. Like, because there's productivity data on Copilot. Like, the thing helps us be more productive. Thanks for the follow. So if people aren't using it yet, they're just lagging. I think a lot of companies are afraid of AI, basically. So I think that helps explain some of this. We already installed NextAuth. Cool. You'll need to import the sign-in function and add event handlers to the button components. Are they attached externally? Yeah. And defined in here, right? Okay. So we'll copy this. Command A, V, S. We got one anger. On click is not assignable. Well, it should be. It should be. I can move it down into here. Have you ever seen ChatGPT mostly? Why not Gemini or Llama? So last time I used Gemini, but it's been a while, it was just not good. And you remember the whole rollout? Like, okay, we're going to get on a tangent here, huh? The reason is because ChatGPT 4.0 performs better. It performs better. That's the short answer. Now, Claude is competitive, so I'm cool with Claude. But anyway, Gemini was a flop at rollout. Maybe it's gotten better over the past couple months. I'm open to that. But historically, it was not that good. Like, y'all remember the whole fake rollout where people were like talking to it, but they weren't? Or it was like watching someone draw, but it was like staged. Why Django over Flask? I don't advocate Django over Flask. I mean, unless you need what Django is giving you, like auth out of the box and admin tools and stuff, Flask doesn't have it, so go for Django, right? Carlton, love your stuff. What up, gang? Thanks for being here, Carlton. Appreciate it. So let's see. Maybe I should give... I should just pass in the clicks is what I should do. I should just pass in the clicks. Okay. So on click on key press. Why TS over JS? Because types prevent bugs and improve developer productivity. I just wanted it to do the signature, but it did the whole thing. That's fine. Okay, so yeah. Do I have a parenthesis that's off now? Cool, that looks good. This first button, we'll update this first outer button. On key press, not on the button. What do you mean, dude? On key press is, oh, okay. Is it on key up? Yeah, on key up is going to be the better way to do this. Oh, I think I'm getting mail. 1 second. Oh, thanks. Oh, check it out. New computer, new job laptop just arrived. Follow the page if you want to see the unboxing video. 10 minutes, Ellie. 10 minutes, Ellie. What's the best type of computer for coding? Best is going to be hard to do. Best is going to be hard to do. It also depends on your use case. I think a better question is like, what's the minimum? That is easier to answer. So you can go to the Latterly blog, hardware needed to code. I recently built a new PC. 10 more minutes. Okay. I recently built a new PC, and the hardware that I selected, it varied by my use case. I would love to have dueling 4090s for local AI training, but that's not necessary for almost anyone, right? So the minimums are pretty universal, but the maximums are going to depend on like your budget. I mean, you know, if you could buy all the NVIDIA GPUs because you had $50 trillion, awesome. Like, awesome. So talking about the max just doesn't really even make sense to me because no one can actually afford the best one, right? And there really is no best one. It's just like, what's your budget constraint is the better way to think about it. Ooh, okay, we went somewhere. This action with HTTP GET all right, y'all. My kids are getting restless, so I'm going to call it early. But basically, let's see. Here's the button. This is basically the right thing to do, and we're basically done. Oh, okay. On key up, I changed it. Erwin says, "What's your backend?" This is Next.js. This is Next.js, which includes server functions, and I've gotten away with just using those so far. I haven't needed to include an additional backend. So the backend would be TypeScript with Next.js. The ORM is Prisma. So why is sign in not accepting? Oh, did I miss a bit of code? Handle Google sign in. Oh, I renamed the wrong one. Handle key up. Cool. Thanks for the info. You got it. Thanks for being here. Okay, it wants me to await. No problem with that. Now I need to have a const async function. This is going to be a void promise. No? My format on save is removing that. That's interesting. So what is Let's see what ChatGPT thinks. And this will be the last bit we do. I'm not sure if this is going to get us to be able to log in, but this will be the last bit we do. Async is in the wrong place. Yeah, where does it go? Doesn't it go right here? Oh, is it in front of the parens? Thanks. Shout out Yossi, thank you. Okay, now we're all good over here? Okay. So let's see what's going on. Bummer, sends me over here. All right, I'll have to figure this out separately. Follow the page. Maybe I'll stream when I fix it. Oh, okay. So the callback URL, we know what that is, right? If this doesn't fix it though, like I swear I'm ending the stream at that point, but that'll be cool if that's all that it needs. Colin, I have nearly finished my BS in software engineering and I'm currently job hunting with no actual professional experience. Any tips? I put in 50 applications and no interviews yet. Okay, three big tips. One, go to Laterally, sign up, follow the checklist. Follow the checklist. The checklist is going to tell you to join the Discord. You should do that so that you can come chat further. It's going to have you build a portfolio. Those all fall into point one, which is go follow the standard checklist. Point two is 50 applications is way too small. The way the market is, you're going to maybe have to 10x that. You're going to have to really 3 or 4x that. So I can walk you through my job search data. I recently went through the job search myself, and you need to do social networking. Okay. And then the last big tip is if you have no professional experience, do open source. So Laterally is open source. You can come contribute. I'll back you. I'll give you a reference. I'll give you a referral if you do some actual work. This ain't for free. It takes time and effort. And that's what you need. That's what you need. You can also look at least 10 networking tips right here on the blog. So hope that helped, Colin. And hope you'll follow the page and join the website. So let's see. So now I want to click this thing, right? And it still gave me the error. Okay, well, that's going to be it for now. I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with it, but